What if I told you there's a one line trick backed by a brand new Google research paper that makes AI give you noticeably better answers for free? No new model, no paid upgrade, no clever wording. You literally just paste your question twice. I know exactly how that sounds. It sounds like nonsense. But it's a real paper with real numbers, and there's a real reason it works. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what it is, why it works, the one situation where it backfires, and how to use it in about 10 seconds. Let's get into it. First, let's prove this is real because the internet is full of fake AI hacks. This comes straight from Google research. Three researchers, Leviathan, Kalman, and Matias, published it in December 2025. And the title is refreshingly blunt: Prompt Repetition Improves Non-Reasoning LLMs. The very first line of the abstract says it all. When not using reasoning, repeating the input prompt improves performance for popular models Gemini, GPT, Claude, and DeepSeek without increasing the number of generated tokens or latency. Those are their words, not mine. Better answers, no extra cost. So let's break down how it works. Here's the entire technique, and it really is this simple. Normally, you type your question and send it once. The trick is to send it twice. The exact same question, copied and pasted back to back in the very same message. No saying please repeat, no rephrasing. Just your prompt and then your prompt again. The researchers write it like this: take your query and turn it into your query, followed immediately by your query. That is the whole move. Now, why on earth would that help? To understand why, you only need one fact about how these models read. A language model reads in one direction, left to right. Every word can only see the words before it, never the words after. The paper calls this a causal model. Past tokens cannot attend to future tokens. Now picture a multiple choice question, where the answer options come before the question itself. While the model reads those options, it hasn't seen the question yet, so it's judging them blind. Paste the prompt twice and that flips. In the second copy, every word can now see the entire first copy. The options have finally seen the question. You've handed the model a second read, one where it already knows where it's going. That's the magic. Okay, but does it actually work, or is it just a neat idea? They tested it properly. 7 popular models, including GPT, 4o, Claude, Gemini, and DeepSeek, across a whole stack of standard benchmarks like ARC, OpenBookQA, MMLU Pro, and Grade School Math. And here is the headline result: prompt repetition won 47 out of 70 tests with zero losses. Read that again: zero losses. It either helped or it did nothing. It basically never made things worse. And the single biggest jump, one Google model went from 21% accuracy all the way to 97% on a recall task, just from pasting the prompt twice. That 21 to 97 leap is exactly where that viral 76% headline comes from. Now, the objection you should be having: doesn't sending the prompt twice cost twice as much and run slower? Almost not at all. And here's the part nobody explains. A model handles your prompt in two phases. First, it reads your input. That part is fast and cheap because it reads all of your words in parallel at once. Then it writes the answer. That's the slow, expensive part because it generates one word at a time. Pasting your prompt twice only grows the cheap, fast reading part. The answer is exactly the same length as before. So you pay a sliver more on the cheap half and almost nothing extra in waiting. That's why the paper can say no increase in generated tokens and no real added latency. About as close to free as it gets. But here's the one thing you cannot skip, or you'll think the trick is broken. It only helps when the model is not reasoning. If you are using a thinking model or extended thinking, or you told it to think step by step, pasting twice does almost nothing. The paper tested that too. With reasoning on, repetition won just 5 out of 28 tests and even lost one. Why? Because a reasoning model already restates and rereads your question on its own. You'd be doing something it already does. So save this trick for the fast stuff. Quick factual questions, classification, multiple choice, tagging, pulling data out of text. That is where it shines. So here's how you actually use this starting today. Take your prompt, copy it, paste it again right underneath, send. That's the entire thing. 10 seconds. It helps the most when your options or your context come before your question, which is exactly the weak spot the paper found. And while we're handing out free wins from the research, here are two more. 1. Put your most important instruction at the very top or the very bottom of your prompt. Models pay the most attention to the start and the end, and they lose things buried in the middle. 2. Keep your prompt lean. The more junk you stuff in, the worse the model gets. Paste twice, anchor the edges, cut the clutter. 3. Free upgrades, $0. Two quick, honest caveats so this doesn't trip you up. First, this is a trick for short and medium prompts. If your prompt is already enormous, doubling it can blow past the limit or actually slow things down. So don't repeat a giant wall of text. Second, how much it helps depends on the model and the task. Some jumps are huge, some are tiny. But remember the headline. Across all of those tests with reasoning off, it almost never hurt. So the smart move is simple. Try it on your own prompts and keep it wherever it wins. So that's the trick. Paste your prompt twice when reasoning is off and get measurably better answers for basically free straight from a Google paper. If that was useful, do me one favor and subscribe. I read this research so you don't have to, and break down the AI science you can actually use every week for free. I also packaged this into a one-page cheat sheet. The paste twice template, the start and end rule, and the lean prompt rule, all copy-paste ready. Comment the word twice on this video, and I'll send it straight to you. And if you want to go further, there are two guides in the description. A beginner's guide to get you running fast, and an architecture guide for building serious AI systems the right way. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, and follow the page on Facebook. I'm Hyperautomation Labs. Paste it twice, and I'll see you in the next one.